The crystal chandelier cast fractured light across the wedding reception as Hana's hand trembled around her champagne glass. She watched her new husband across the room, his sharp jawline catching the golden glow as he spoke with business associates. Kwon Minjae, heir to one of Korea's largest conglomerates, had chosen her out of hundreds of potential brides. But something felt wrong. An elderly woman in a jade handbook approached, smiling warmly. "Congratulations, dear. Minwoo will make a wonderful husband." Hana's breath caught. "I'm sorry, you mean Minjae?" The woman's face drained of color. "Yes, of course. Minjae, forgive me." She hurried away before Hana could respond. Minjae appeared at her side moments later, his touch gentle on her elbow. "Are you all right? You look pale." "That woman called you Minwoo." His expression shifted, something cold flickering behind his eyes. "She's confused. Old age." He kissed her forehead, but his lips felt like ice. "I need to speak with the board members. I'll return shortly." Hana nodded, watching him disappear into the crowd. She set down her glass, her heart pounding against her ribs. 10 minutes passed. 15. Then Minjae reappeared, but something had changed. His shoulders were relaxed, his smile reaching his eyes as he pulled her into a slow dance. "I'm sorry I left you alone. The wedding is overwhelming." This was the man she'd fallen in love with during their courtship, warm and attentive. But where had the cold stranger from minutes ago disappeared to? The Kwon family mansion loomed before them as their car pulled through iron gates. Hana pressed her face to the window, taking in the sprawling estate. Her new home. Staff members lined the entrance, bowing as they passed. But when Hana glanced down a corridor to her right, she noticed something strange. A wing of the house sat in complete darkness, and 2 security guards stood stationed at its entrance. "What's down there?" she asked. Minjae's grandmother, who'd ridden with them, stiffened. "Storage, nothing important." But Hana had seen the way the staff's eyes had widened in warning. That night, exhausted from the ceremony, she changed into silk pajamas and walked through her new bedroom. It connected to Minjae's through a shared sitting room. She found him standing by the window, still in his wedding suit. "Come to bed," I said softly. He turned, and for a heartbeat, his expression was completely blank, as if he didn't recognize her. Then warmth flooded back into his features. "Of course, I was just thinking about tomorrow's board meeting." Hana woke at 3 in the morning to an empty bed. She wrapped a robe around herself and stepped into the hallway. The mansion was silent, except for the tick of antique clocks. She moved toward the forbidden east wing, drawn by curiosity she couldn't name. The guards were gone. The door stood slightly ajar. Her heart hammered as she pushed it open. The corridor beyond was lit by moonlight streaming through tall windows. At the end of the hall, she saw him, Minjae, standing with his back to her, shoulders tense. But Minjae was supposed to be in their bedroom, unless he'd walked past her somehow. "Minjae?" Her voice came out as a whisper. The figure turned. It was her husband's face, identical in every way. Same sharp cheekbones, same dark eyes, same small scar above his left eyebrow from a childhood accident he told her about. But this man's expression held none of Minjae's warmth. This man looked at her like she was a problem to be solved. "You shouldn't be here." His voice was her husband's voice, but colder, measured. "Who are you?" He stepped closer, and Hana's back hit the wall. He studied her face with clinical precision. "I'm Minwoo, Minjae's twin brother." The words didn't make sense. He doesn't have a brother. I saw his family records. Exactly.
Minwoo moved past her toward the main house. "Follow me. It's time you learned the truth." They walked in silence to a private study. Minjae was already there, having appeared from somewhere else in the mansion. Seeing them side by side was disorienting. Perfect mirrors of each other, except one radiated warmth while the other emanated control. If you're enjoying this story, hit that like button and subscribe for more thrilling content. Drop a comment below telling us what you think happens next. Minjae reached for Hana's hand. "I'm sorry. I wanted to tell you, but the family forbade it." "Tell me what? That you have a twin brother nobody knows about?" Minwoo poured 3 glasses of whiskey, his movements precise. "When we were 7, someone tried to kidnap us. They wanted to use us as leverage against our father's company. Minjae escaped. I didn't. For 3 days, I was held in a warehouse while they negotiated ransom." Minjae's jaw tightened. "We got him back, but the family decided it was too dangerous for both heirs to be public. They erased Minwoo from all records. Legally, officially, he doesn't exist. We've been switching places for 20 years. When one of us needs to be in 2 places at once, when security risks are high, when the company needs a strategy the board wouldn't approve of, we trade. Nobody can tell us apart." Hana's mind reeled. "The wedding. You switched during the wedding." "3 times, Minjae admitted. "I'm sorry. You married me, Hana, but you also married into the secret." She stood abruptly, the chair scraping against hardwood. "This is insane. You can't just expect me to go along with this." "Someone is trying to kill one of us." Minwoo's blunt statement froze her in place. "We don't know which one. We don't know who, but there have been 3 attempts in the last 6 months. Brake lines cut, poisoned food sent to the office, a sniper who missed by inches." Minjae moved to her side. "We chose you because you're strong. Your background is spotless. You won't be an easy target. And we thought that together, maybe we could figure out who's behind this before they succeed." Hana looked between them, her new husband and his ghost. "Which one of you did I fall in love with?" Over the following weeks, Hana's life became a study in paranoia. She kept a small notebook hidden in her nightstand, documenting every interaction. The husband who brought her coffee in the morning and asked about her dreams was Minjae. She was almost certain, but the one who appeared at dinner, discussing quarterly reports with cold efficiency, had to be Minwoo. Except sometimes the morning version would mention something from the dinner conversation, and she'd realize they'd switched without her noticing. "You're adapting well," Minwoo said one evening. They were alone in the study, reviewing company documents he'd asked her to examine. "I'm losing my mind," she corrected. "I can't tell you apart. I don't know which one I'm married to at any given moment." "Does it matter?" His question was genuine, curious. "Of course it matters. I'm supposed to build a life with one person, not 2. He leaned back in his chair, studying her. "Minjae is kind. He believes in people. He's the face of the company, the one who does charity work and community projects. I'm the one who makes the difficult decisions. I handle acquisitions, eliminate competition, protect the family interests. We're 2 halves of what this empire needs. And what am I? A prop in your elaborate deception?" Something flickered in his expression, almost like respect. "You're smarter than we anticipated. That makes you valuable. Or dangerous. I haven't decided which yet." The board meeting the next day confirmed Minwoo's paranoia was justified. Hana sat in the observation room with the other family members, watching through one-way glass as Minjae presented a new development proposal. One of the senior directors, Mr. Cho, kept checking his phone, his expression tense. "That man looks nervous," Hana whispered to Minjae's mother. The older woman's face remained impassive. "Mr. Cho has been with this company for 30 years. His loyalty is absolute." But after the meeting, as Hana walked through the parking garage with Minjae, a black sedan accelerated suddenly from a parking space, heading straight for them. Minjae shoved Hana aside, and she hit the concrete as the car missed him by inches. Security swarmed immediately, but the driver was gone, the car abandoned with wiped plates. That night, Hana found both brothers in the study, tension crackling between them. The brakes were sabotaged, Minjae said, pacing. Security checked the footage. Someone tampered with it 3 hours before I arrived. Someone who knew exactly where you'd be, Minwoo added. He looked at Hana. Did you mention the meeting, 21? No, I didn't even know about it until this morning. Then it's someone inside, someone close. Minjae's hands were shaking. Hana had never seen him scared before. She made a decision. Teach me your tells, the differences between you. If someone's watching, trying to figure out your pattern, I need to see what they see. For hours, they worked with her. Minjae unconsciously touched his wedding ring when thinking. Minwoo's left eye narrowed slightly when he lied. Minjae's smile reached his eyes. Minwoo's never quite did. Small things, barely noticeable things, but once Hana learned to look, the differences became clearer. A week later, she found an envelope slipped under her bedroom door. Inside, a single sentence in printed text. You married the wrong twin. Her hands trembled as she brought it to them. What does this mean? They exchanged looks. It means, Minwoo said carefully, that someone knows about both of us, and they're trying to destabilize you. Or warn me, Hana countered. What if one of you is behind the attacks? What if this whole thing is about one brother eliminating the other? Minjae's face crumpled. You think I'd hurt Minwoo? I don't know what to think anymore. I don't even know which of you I'm talking to half the time. That night, unable to sleep, Hana broke into their shared office. She'd seen Minjae enter the code once, had memorized the pattern of his fingers on the keypad. Inside, she found 2 desks, 2 computers, 2 entirely separate work streams. One computer showed community outreach programs, hospital donations, scholarship funds. The other showed acquisition targets, competitor analysis, hostile takeover strategies. But there was something else, a locked drawer in Minwoo's desk. She used a letter opener to jimmy it open, her heart pounding. Inside, she found documents detailing every board member's financial history, and highlighted in yellow, evidence that Mr. Cho had been embezzling company funds for 5 years. Evidence that would destroy him if revealed. Looking for something? Minwoo's voice came from the doorway. Hana spun, the paper still in her hands. You knew about the embezzlement. Of course. Then why didn't you expose him? Because having leverage is more valuable than exercising it, until now. He moved closer. Mr. Cho must have realized we discovered his theft. The attack started right after I began investigating the discrepancies. He's not trying to kill us because of company politics. He's trying to kill us before we destroy him. Suddenly, the lights went out. Emergency alarms blared through the mansion. Minwoo grabbed Hana's wrist, pulling her toward a hidden panel in the wall. Security flooded the hallway outside. Through the chaos, she heard shouting, the sound of a struggle. When the lights came back on, both brothers stood in the study, flanking a handcuffed Mr. Cho. Police officers filled the room. The senior director looked smaller now, defeated. I built this company. I deserve more than you've given me. The evidence Hana had found was handed over. Case closed, threat eliminated. But as the police led Mr. Cho away, Hana realized something crucial. She still didn't know which brother had been with her in those quiet morning moments. Which one had held her after nightmares? Which one had promised to protect her? They stood before her now, identical and unreadable. One smiled warmly. The other's expression held calculated interest. They spoke in unison, their voices blending into one question that would haunt her forever. So, which one of us do you trust? If this story kept you on the edge of your seat, make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and comment below with your theories. Would you trust Minjae or Minwoo? Let us know.
Hana stared at the two men who had become her entire world in the span of weeks. The study felt smaller now, the walls pressing in as her pulse thundered in her ears. Trust. They were asking her about trust when they'd built their entire existence on deception. "I don't trust either of you," she said quietly. "But I understand why you did this." Minjae stepped forward, his hand outstretched. "Hana, please, let me explain everything properly now. No more secrets." "No more secrets?" She laughed, the sound brittle. "How can I believe that when I can't even tell which one of you I'm speaking to right now?" Minwoo moved to the window, his silhouette sharp against the dawn light creeping through the curtains. "You want the truth? The complete truth? Fine, I'll give it to you." He turned, and for the first time, Hana saw something raw in his expression, vulnerability. Those quiet mornings when someone brought you coffee and asked about your dreams, that was me, not Minjae. Minjae's face paled. "Minwoo, don't..." "She deserves to know." Minwoo's voice cut through the tension like a blade. The charity galas, the warm smiles, the gentle touches you thought were Minjae being the perfect husband, half of those were me. We didn't just switch for business or security. We switched because I wanted to know what it felt like to be the one who could love you openly. Hana's knees weakened. She gripped the edge of the desk. "What are you saying?" Minjae ran his hands through his hair, his composure cracking. "We made a mistake choosing you. Not because you weren't perfect for this role, but because you were too perfect. We both fell in love with you." The confession hung in the air like shattered glass, dangerous and irreparable. Hana's mind raced through every interaction, every touch, every whispered word in the darkness. How many had been Minjae? How many had been Minwoo? How could she have been so blind? The night of the wedding, when I woke up and found someone in the East Wing, that was you, Minwoo. But earlier, during the reception, when you kissed my forehead and it felt cold, that was also me, Minwoo admitted. I was angry. Angry that Minjae got to be the one who married you. Angry that I had to stay hidden while he got everything. Minjae moved between them, his eyes pleading. "But I'm the one who chose you. I'm the one whose name is on the marriage certificate. I'm the one who courted you, who asked your father for permission, who let his brother pretend to be him whenever it was convenient. Tell me something. That morning after the car nearly hit us, when someone held me while I cried, which one of you was that?" The brothers looked at each other. Neither answered immediately. "Both," Minjae finally said. "I held you first, but when I had to take a call from the police, Minwoo came in. You never noticed the switch." Hana sank into a chair, her whole body trembling. "This is impossible. You're asking me to accept that I've been in love with two people who share the same face, that every moment of my marriage has been a lie." "Not a lie," Minwoo said fiercely. "Everything we felt was real. Every conversation, every shared laugh, every promise. The only deception was which one of us was standing in front of you." "That's not a small deception." Her voice rose. "That's my entire reality. How am I supposed to build a future when I don't even know who I'm building it with?" Minjae knelt before her,
taking her hands in his. He could see the desperation in his eyes. Then choose, right here, right now. Choose which one of us you want to be married to. We'll make it official. We'll stop switching. The other one will disappear from your life completely. No. Minwoo's single word was absolute. You can't ask her to make that choice. It's not fair. None of this is fair. Minjae stood abruptly. But she deserves a real marriage, a real husband, not this twisted game we've been playing.
The brothers faced each other, years of shared secrets and silent understanding fracturing before Hana's eyes. She realized with sudden clarity that this had been building long before she entered their lives. This rift, this impossible situation, had been waiting to explode. "Stop," she said. Both men turned to her. "Stop making this about what I deserve or what's fair. Let me think." She walked to the window, watching the sun rise over the mansion grounds. Staff members were beginning their morning routines. Gardeners tending to roses, security changing shifts. Normal people living normal lives, unaware of the drama unfolding above them. "The notebook," she said suddenly. "I kept a notebook of your behaviors. Let me see it." Minwoo retrieved it from her room. Hana flipped through the pages, reading her own observations. "The husband who discussed philosophy with me at breakfast. That handwriting analysis we did together was your idea, Minwoo. You're left-handed, but you taught yourself to write right-handed to match Minjae." Minwoo nodded slowly. "And the one who held my hand during the thunderstorm last week, even though he had an important meeting, that was you, Minjae, because you knew I was afraid, and you stayed." "Yes," Minjae confirmed. Hana closed the notebook. "I don't want either of you to disappear. I don't want to choose." "Hana," Minjae started. "Let me finish." She met both their eyes. "What we have is unconventional, maybe even impossible, but it's real. You said it yourselves. Everything we felt was real. So instead of asking me to cut away half of what we've built, ask me this. Are we brave enough to find a new way forward?" The brothers exchanged looks, uncertainty and hope warring in their expressions. "The world won't understand," Minwoo said. "The family will never accept it," Minjae added. "Then we keep it between us, the three of us. We stop lying to each other, even if we have to keep lying to everyone else. We build something that's ours, not defined by their rules or expectations." Minwoo stepped closer. "You'd really accept both of us?" "I already have," she replied. "I just didn't realize it until now. Every morning, every evening, every moment, I've been falling in love with both of you, with your kindness, Minjae, with your strength, Minwoo, with the way you complete each other, with the way you've both tried to protect me." Minjae reached for her hand. "This won't be easy." "Nothing worth having ever is," Hana said. The three of them stood together as dawn broke fully over the city, bound by secrets and choices that would define the rest of their lives. Outside, the world continued spinning, unaware that in one quiet study, three people had just rewritten the rules of love and loyalty. Minwoo spoke first, his voice soft. "So where do we go from here?" Hana smiled, taking both their hands in hers. "Forward, together, and we figure out the rest as we go." Did this ending shock you? Would you have made the same choice as Hana? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and let us know what you think should happen next. If you loved this story, smash that like button, subscribe for more incredible tales, and share this video with someone who loves a good plot twist. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next story.